Hey, what's going on, guys and gals? This is going to be part 2 of looking at your meters from the input, okay? Going to try and clear up a couple questions that I had. And number one, everybody's saying, well, what you're doing is you're overloading the master bus, okay? And here's our master bus right here. Now, the reason we're overloading it is because of the mix bus here. Now, I'm going to come up here, and brother, I didn't expect to go down this rabbit hole, but, honestly, you did me a favor, and I think this is what you were trying to explain to me. Now, I've got this going into mix bus 1, but I've raised it 10 dBs here, and then I've lowered it 10 dBs here, okay? Now, the first thing that happens is this has put me outside of my 24-bit processing power. Okay, because that's what these mixers do. So if I turn this test tone off, you're going to see everything come just like it is. And what you had mentioned on your photo, it is absolutely correct. Okay, and we're going to look at that when we go over into Reaper. Now, this is another thing that somebody said, that it's digital audio. You cannot clip it. All you can do is distort it. Well, on these X32 and M32 mixers, your signal path is going to be your input through the preamp, out of the card, into your DAW. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I've got me just a simple little pencil condenser microphone here, and that way I can run my gain all the way up, and I can sit here and just clip it at ease without me having to scream in here. Now, as you can see, over here, the fader's all the way down. Okay, I've got it muted, so when I unmute it, if I raise it up, of course, then it's going to come over here on the mains, as you can see right here. And the same thing with the meters right here in and out. You'll see it just doing absolutely nothing but clipping. So we're going to stay with that logic just for a second. Okay? So now I've got this set where I want. Then I'm going to go into Reaper. We're going to arm a track, and we're going to record just a little bit of this. Because by theory, I should be able to record this because it's the 40-bit floating system. If I'm understanding everybody correctly, that all I've got to do is go into Reaper and then on my fader, pull that down to where it's not clipping on the meter, and I should be able to restore this audio because it hasn't been processed yet, okay? And that just, it kind of goes over my head a little bit because I'm not seeing the same results. Now, another thing, if you're going to do this over here on your USB recorder, you don't even watch this because it's going to clip coming out of here regardless, okay? Again, people say, well, all you got to do is take it and put it into your DAW and you can repair that. I don't understand it, so if you know it, the only thing I'm going to request is you put as much effort into explaining it to me as I'm trying to explain it to everybody else, okay? So let's go ahead and jump into Reaper. Okay, brother, here is your waveform. Okay, that's exactly what you were telling me was going to happen. Happened. Okay, there it is. I can see it for myself. So let's come here now and let's go ahead and do our input on channel 17. And we should start to see some signal coming in here. And that's just exactly what we want to see. I'm going to just mute this for my own personal preference. And then we're going to lay down some audio. Okay, so as I do this now, I'm just holding the microphone a little bit closer. And we're going to see that this is definitely coming through and it's clipping all the way through. So I'm going to go ahead and stop this. And then I'm going to save it. And there we go. Okay, so now we've got our audio. We know it was clipped coming in. Let me get over here where we can really look at it. And there you'll see those. When you see those flat edges right there, that's where it's telling you that it is just bottomed out, as some said, I should say. Okay, but there it is. There is no curve like you see above here. So let's go ahead and play this back and get it to a point to where it's not going to clip on our meters, and we're going to use our fader to do that. So on this meter right here, it is a RMS standard on the first meter right here. Okay. On the second meter, we have a peak standard. Robert, this is what I was trying to explain to you as far as the 2 meters. You're going to see a difference in the readings here by 3 dBs. So let's just go ahead and play through this file. We'll go ahead and just solo it out, and then we can watch those meters. Okay. See right here, brother? It's pegging right there at 0. This one's showing you a different reading. So I know the meters in the X32s are peak. And if you've got an RMS meter or something set up in your DAW, that's why you're going to get a different reading. Okay. So let's go ahead and put a loop here. And we're just going to play this back just till it falls in that loop there. And I'm going to bring this fader down now, because this is what everybody's telling me. Okay, as you can see now, we're down there around that -6. And everything should be fine now, because we're still in that 40-bit floating system. And I just don't understand it, because I've recorded this in the Reaper. Nothing's changed. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and stop this. I'm going to select this track, and I'm going to render it, and I'm going to put it right back in the Reaper. Test Reaper 22. Stereo wave 24-bit. Add rendered item in new track render file. Now, as you can see right here, our true peak is a -10.9. We have 0 clips. The RMS level is a 17.4. The loudness range is a 8.1. And the LUFS is around a -16.8. And we're going to say close. And this is going to add it right back to that track. And there we go. Okay. So let's go ahead and bring up our meters again. And we're going to play this track. We'll solo this out, and we'll mute this second track. And there we go. We are absolutely just like everybody says. Okay? We're not clipping. We were able to bring it out. No problem whatsoever. So we're going to stop this now. And we're going to look at this track just a little bit more in detail. And that's just exactly what I've been trying to say. You have the same, a lot of people refer to this as the lawnmower effect. Okay? Every single one of those peaks that went over or up to that 0 dB full scale has now been removed. They're gone. And I'm here to tell you, and I don't want you to take my word for it, you spend your time and you start listening to some of this audio, and that way you'll know when you're listening to something on Spotify or you hear something on YouTube and you hear that sound that it makes, you will instantly know that somebody was under the impression that until they finalized that waveform, they could do anything that they wanted to with it. Okay? It's just not so. So I hope this has cleared up any questions. And Michael, this should answer your question as well. I think this is what you were telling me about that 40-bit floating system. Now, this has nothing to do with the 28-bit system, the processing power. That is totally different. That is where you keep your faders as close to unity as you can. I have never said they must stay at unity. I have never said put your faders at unity and then adjust your gain to where you get a good, healthy signal. I am very adamant. I have always stuck to the point when you use these digital mixers, your input gain should be between a -18 or around that, a -18. If you need to go a little bit hotter on your percussions, don't go no more than a -15, because you can overload your bus. And if you're going to record through it and you're going to try and save these recordings, if you can show me something different than I just showed you, I'm all ears. All right? Take care. God bless. And we are out of here.